off topic. You're the guy who burnt his hands to shreds, right? Tell us
we
about
all
that.
remember those
What
pictures.
happened?
Yeah, so that was just unlucky. It was just a lack of...
I don't know why I thought of that, but we was
that
Well, it's because it was Canaries Gone Bad a couple of years ago.
Canaries Gone Bad,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because I was in Colchester and Carl was talking about it one time and he showed me this picture.
Yeah.
And didn't you carry on?
Yeah. So it was pretty bad. I was actually, this weekend was Rob Lawson's wedding. So Rob, we were out there all weekend, which is probably why I'm speaking a bit slower. We had a couple of beers. So Rob had it pretty bad as well. We probably had it the worst out of everyone between the two of us. But what it was that because we were in the elite competition, they saved that event for midday because it was like that's when all the crowds and stuff were there. So we were on like a 3G pitch, like an AstroTurf pitch, and there was handstand walking. It was over obstacles and around stuff. This is 2 years ago now, so a little bit ahead of Dave Castro on that one. And it was just roasting hot. It was like 35 degrees in the day, but that AstroTurf was scalding hot. So the way I handstand walk anyway, I'm a little bit of a shuffler rather than a stepper.
So you're just constantly
so
pushing
into the hot floor. And Stu, my partner, is a fireman, and he's a stepper, not a shuffler, and he's got hands made out of asbestos. So he gets through the first bit, and I'm pretty good on my hands. Like I'm all right at handstand walking, I hope. And I catch up to him, and I'm like, my hands are really sore. Like, and I look down, and there's skin on them, but it's all raised off, and I'm like, oh, okay. So we got another 2 lengths to go or whatever, and I do the other length, and I come down, and Stu's like, you never come down from handstands walks, what's wrong? And I'm looking at my hands, and he's just shouting across like, stop being a pussy and get on with it. So like I get over to the other end, and he was like, fuck, what's wrong with you, and he looked at my hands, he was like, oh, never mind. He's like, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. I was like, fuck off, let's get it done, right? So I finished the obstacle course, ran to the nearest like
anything
cooler
cold,
and just put my hands in the water cooler. And the guys came over and like, oh, is everything all right? And I showed them my hands, and they were like, oh, I'm so sorry.
But assuming it
Have you
wasn't
seen the
just
picture
you.
of that?
Yeah. Assuming it wasn't just you.
Yeah, Rob Lawson had it pretty bad. But only 1 or 2 others. Like, a lot of people couldn't do the obstacles, so they didn't really get there. So we were the only ones, I think, that finished it.
Yeah.
That's what you get for being good at it, right?
Yeah, so
that's your reward.
Yeah, we got it done, and I was like, oh, Christ, we could have just stopped halfway, and we still would have won the event. I was like, oh. And but yeah, we had to find the 1 rep max overhead squat and do some rowing and do some other shit
with
afterwards.
all the hands.
And I looked like Keith Lemon. I had like both my hands taped up. So
honestly, it's still like that was a couple of years ago now, and it's still like makes my stomach turn.
Yeah, I don't know if
picture.
you can do it when you edit it, but you can
I'll
probably
put it in.
I'll
put it in.
Yeah.
They showed me
people
that
can
at
enjoy
Colchester while I was having my lunch.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's just stuck with me ever
It
since.
smelled like pork as well.
Oh. I did not need to hear that.